These wheels might take the cake as the dirtiest set of wheels I've ever worked on. You can see we are just completely filled with caked on brake dust here. So much so that the calipers look dull and matte. The rotor hats on there are completely black. This is a 2023 Mercedes GLS 63 AMG with about 30,000 miles on it. And I would wager to bet these wheels have never seen a proper clean. So today we're going to be bringing these back to life, taking it from this to looking like this. Welcome back to the channel. Let's jump into it. Yikes here. So couple things. We've got wheel weight tape. We've got some tar in here. We've got absolutely caked brake dust. Look at that coming off of here. Even the back of the rim here, everything is just absolutely nasty. So we're dealing with a lot of contamination here. I'm going to show you through the process. This will be a nice, satisfying deep clean, but we need to make sure we get all of this off, getting all of this looking as perfect as possible before we put a ceramic coating on it to bring back that original luster that unfortunately these have really lost. First order of business, CarPro Tarex. We're going to do that on all the wheel weight tape here. Let that sit, let that dwell, let it eat it up. Because I'm assuming this being a 2023, it's been sitting on here quite a while. So we'll let that sit. Once it starts to soften up that adhesive, we'll come back in. We'll get our Geon wheel cleaner. This is their redefined version here. Iron removing chemicals. So you're gonna see some beautiful purple action on this to make a real mess of my floors, but to get these wheels really, really clean. Let's get in here and start doing some breakdown of that gnarly, gnarly brake dust. Just a nice pH neutral soap on there, and holy cow, you can see that cleaner doing its work there. These are some nasty, nasty wheels and tires. Now these might be one of the dirtiest wheels I've cleaned, but probably one of the most satisfying. The gunk coming off of here is truly exceptional. So what I want to do, I want to sit here, let this dwell on here, and then we'll do a nice big pressure wash on this. Instead of going in here trying to scrub, we want to kind of break down those layers gradually. Again, on the back end here, man, you can just see the grime pouring out of here. Oh my God. Look at that wheel. Truly exceptional how filthy that is. Look at the wall back there. Man, oh man, that is some serious grime this stuff is pulling off. So let's continue to let this sit. We'll give it a nice thorough pressure wash before we do this a second time and get in there and start scrubbing. I tell you what, thank goodness for having a floor drain right here. The crud that came off of this wheel is truly nuts. So you can see we got our first initial clean. This is one of the trickiest areas. I already cleaned the other front wheel, and it is just this absolute caked brake dust in here. Now you'll also see inside of here, we've still got brake dust everywhere. Of course, we need to scrub these down, but I like to do that to get that big initial layer, because otherwise you're just scrubbing all of that dirt and grime back into more dirt and grime. Now this area on the front wheels, pretty interesting. It's almost like really sticky brake dust, and this area, you'll just see it when I immediately respray it, it's going to turn bright, nasty purple. And then up here, you can also see we've got wax writing on the inside of the wheel. I don't know why anybody would ever do that. That is just absurd. And that stuff takes some serious amount of fun to get off. So we've got a lot of cleaning here. Let's get this spray down, get that working, and then we're going to get to scrubbing. All right, we are getting there now. There is still that kind of sticky residue. Let's see if you can hear this. So pretty smooth. These are obviously matte wheels, more on the inside, more satin on the outside, but you can hear this is pretty smooth. Hope you can hear that difference. There's a bunch of crud in here, and it seems like right where that caliper was sitting, all the really, really heavy brake dust, and it almost feels sticky is coming out of there. Now, we also need to worry about this. These have been a pain in the butt. So I've been using CarPro Tarex, and unfortunately sitting here with a towel, just sitting there going and getting that wax pin, I would assume, off. Now, the one real tricky area on these wheels, it's going to be really, really hard to see. Maybe not. Maybe I just found it here. This little guy right here, that same sticky residue we were seeing in the inner barrel. Yeah, you can really see it right there. And it is like thick. So I can sit here and scrub this, and you can see it just comes off like this. Now, this is a mixture of brake dust and, again, that sticky nature to it. So it's kind of the thing I've been doing Tarex on there, coming in here and then doing another bat of iron remover, and it just takes time to scrub it out. It is not something you can just quickly hit. So gonna do a few more rounds of this. We'll show you how we're progressing once we get a little closer here. All right, so it looks like we did a pretty darn good job getting that FR off of here. Man, that stuff was no joke. And again, doesn't help that it was literally written on over brake dust. So next steps here, I'm gonna come into this lip and just really scrub it. You can still see we just got dirt and grime. Yeah, you can really see it there. Some really nasty stuff in there. Again, kind of same thing that was going on in this particular area. So just gonna take my time, spray, scrub, repeat until it's totally gone. This stuff is the most relentless stuff I've ever seen. You can see wheels looking pretty darn nice. There's our towel, and all we are doing here is just coming in here and scrubbing this. Really, Tarex is kind of the best thing to be working on this. So just spray a little onto the towel here, and show you this little spot right there. And you just sit here and work it in. It's real fun. Real fun. So you can just see all kinds of nasty dirt and grime off of there. Man, I tell you what, these are definitely the dirtiest wheels I have ever worked on. All right, so we have spent way too long on these wheels, but hopefully, yeah, not hopefully, it is worth it. They look a heck of a lot better. So all I just quickly did, refoamed these down real quick. Just want to make sure we get all of the wheel cleaner off of there, especially all of that Tarex, so we're not interfering with our actual coating steps. So let's get this rinsed off. We'll get it dried, and then we're actually going to move over to the brakes. All right, now for the real fun here. We're gonna hit these brakes. These things are going to be nasty. Now, I'm also gonna hit the edge of this rotor. I know most people are gonna be like, oh my God, you can't get it all over the rotor. It's gonna be crazy. Promise you, you're gonna be okay. So let's get this on here. So let that sit. So let this do its thing. And yikes, this thing's gonna be pretty nasty. All right, first initial clean on these calipers, just trying to get the big muck off first, and then we'll get into the little details, getting into all the nooks and crannies here with different size brushes. Makes a huge difference. So you can see cleaned up the top of the rotor as well, even this kind of heat shield back here. Still got some more work to do. Also started working into here. You remember that thing was purely nasty black. I mean, you can still see it inside of there. So couple more rounds on this. Not going to show you every last little detail here, but I'm going to go through, scrub these down. I'll show you what the end result actually looks like. Well, we're looking pretty good here. That is our finished cleaning result of the caliper rotor assembly, looking just so much better. Also went through, cleaned up the entire suspension components, wheel liners, all of that fun stuff. So we're going to get this all dried up. Next, we need to coat the wheel. Probably not going to show you that process. We'll show you the end result so you can see just an insane before and after. Well guys, we are finished up here with the wheels, and I am beyond thrilled with how these things came out. I mean, you can just see, brought these back to as close to factory condition as possible. Of course, there's a few blemishes up here, areas like that, some few rock chips in the barrels, but overall, with how disgusting these wheels were before, they came out absolutely phenomenal. So coated these with Clean by Pan 8-year coating, of course, all the back of the spokes, all into the barrels, the faces, the calipers, all of that fun stuff. So let me show you what this looks like fully mounted on the car so you can get a real good before and after. What a massive, massive transformation. All right, folks, here is our final results. And as you can see, before and after, well worth it. Just love how silky smooth those wheels look now, and especially getting all of the barrels, all of the intricate areas in there. Man, it just makes all of the difference. Really glad I also spent quite a bit of time cleaning the rotor hats there, the top of the rotor as well, the whole caliper. You can see it is just glossy red now. Lots of effort went into this, lots of chemicals, tons of time, but man, it's all worth it, isn't it? So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. This was just a nice, satisfying detail. Figured I would bring you along. Still got to finish up the rest of this car to make it look dialed in, but pretty happy with the results here. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in another one soon. Bye-bye.